Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This video is going to be working in my daughter's, what do I call these? The school year insert. This is a Heidi Swap chapter, storyline chapters insert. It's the one that's just considered a scrapbook that just has like a printing of like gray linen. It's pretty much blank. I've done one every year for her schooling so far. So this year she's in kindergarten. So last year was VPK, and then the year before that was preschool. And these are specific just stories that are about her only that happened during the school year. I have started off the album with the first day of school and how it was rough. Some school supplies, a letter to Miss Bayless. I didn't do the journaling there. The confetti, her uniform wearing. This was the first funny story of mom speed to go pick her up. And this is where we're at. So I have made a list of everything that I've wanted to include in here that I've slowly been printing photos to make sure I have everything ready to go when I found the time to do this, because ever since November and December daily, this has fallen to the wayside. But we are going to catch up with all of these stories, not necessarily all in this video, but we're going to do a few. So a few that I have, starting off with the book fair. So I have the flyer, I have her receipt. I did volunteer for the book fair. I have my journaling. So this one is pretty much ready to go. I just got to figure out the layout. So the book fair, I have assessment testing. She's been scoring really well on these, and I get these reports all the time. They're all over my room. But maybe I'm just going to make a pocket page for that one. The denim jacket project, which if you've been following me, I made this DIY jacket. The whole idea is that it's a size that she should fit when she graduates high school. So buy it now. I put her last name on it, class of 2036, and then take pictures, kind of like the first day of school pictures every year, and watch her grow into said jacket. So I have this one printed and ready to go. We did a recent, well, it wasn't recent now. She had her first field trip. Is that the next story? No. The next story is trunk or treat. So for Halloween, she was this butterfly, and we did trunk or treat at her school and the character parades. I'm just going to tell the Halloween story here. She also had her first field trip, and I was the chaperone with her teacher. So I have a few pictures from her class and me. Then a story about potty training. We are still potty training via nighttime, and I have our school photo. So to probably tell just a story about potty training still, and the good weeks and the bad weeks that we have. The overnight is still the last step. I want to talk about, we had a unicorn. This thing came to our town, Unicorn World. So we had this all ready to go. She started to learn and to train, and we rode her bike on 2 wheels, and she does now ride on 2 wheels. So I have the packaging there. She turned 6. So here is her birthday party photos. So that's a story to tell. I always do a birthday photo here. And then I wanted to do a currently page, is where I was at with this, of Squishmallows and these rainbow Barbies. This is like packaging from toys that she had. And then this one's in here as a like make story. I was going to use the make story kit from Allie Edwards. So yeah, that's my list. And then that's everything pretty much ready to go. So we are going to do as many of these as we can right now. Maybe I'll get in 2 or 3 and bring this album to date, and that way I'll be able to see how many stories I can include for the second half of her school year, since we are in January. Yeah, that's enough to still hold on the stories. So let's get started with the book fair. Yeah, this is the first one. I wanted to keep the journal and the books that she picked out, and she even got her first fuzzy journal. You know those. We all know those. And how I volunteered. And actually, the day I volunteered in her book fair was the day she took her school photo, which is this photo. So after she was at the book fair, her class literally went, and I remember like brushing her hair out to take her school photo. So that was her portrait that came out. She smiled so good. Okay. So let me stop chit-chatting. Let's get doing all of this. And this one I do have the journaling already done, so that's fun. All right, let me put you on fast forward. Okay, my sweet crafty friends, let's get started on these layouts. I think in this video I do 1, trying to count them, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 of them. Okay. And then we'll pause it. I have like an outro part, and then we'll continue on because I just don't want to like put the speed on them to like ×8 and for you guys to see like 10 layouts all in a row. Like I really want you to gain some inspiration from me doing all of this because I hope it inspires you to sort of keep a notebook or a journal or do an insert like mine with photos and journaling for your school age kids because it's really kind of fun. I hope that I know I will cherish having these when she gets older, for sure. And it's been fun to play because honestly, be honest, I use all the fun, supplies. Everything's so colorful, and I'm talking about like my favorite person in the world. So it's a good thing. So I did use, as you can plainly see, the actual flyer from the book fair. And this was such a great idea to like, obviously keep it and use it. I mean, I could have just folded it and probably stuck it in as a tip-in or something, but why not? Some of the books are showing through, so it'll show like what was out at this time. And then since I included the picture of the books that she selected anyway, I don't need to have the book covers be shown, but I love the bold title from having the book fair on it. Really helps. The only thing I will say looking back on it now that it's completed is that I wish I probably would have put my photos on like a white mat because they kind of get lost a little bit, as you can see, like even just holding them, on there, that they could have probably benefited from a white border, but that's neither here nor there. I also have the receipt kept that I will make into a pocket behind the 4x6 photo of me and her. That way it's good to see like what books cost, because who knows, maybe 20 years from now we are going to either say, wow, they were so expensive, or wow, they were cheaper. This day and age with inflation and stuff, books are probably going to be double what they are now in 10 years. So it's kind of good to see it. Or who knows, maybe even at this age, they'll all have e-readers and actual physical books may be a thing of the past. Who knows? So I go ahead and just take out all the photos I had printed and putting into the page just so that I had a flatter surface to work with because it was a little lumpy for what I'm doing and try to adhere this pattern paper. So they are just kind of right next to my desk for me to continue on. And I think not to say I take the same formula, but obviously, her birthday is always the same day. It always happens within the same holiday break and things like that. So some of the stories are a little bit on a repeat, but that's not a bad thing. If anything, it almost makes it formulaic and it's easier to take control because I do believe last year I did a book fair photo and I still did a birthday party photo, and I still take the time to do a currently page, and some of the things change, like maybe 1 or 2 I took off the list and added 2 or 3, and I'm going to do a currently page for, this year. And it's good to see that stuff over and over again because maybe she stays consistent or maybe she doesn't. Maybe one year she drastically changes and becomes like a town boy rather than the pretty, pretty princess that she is. And it'll be nice to see that year that everything changed. So the collection I'm using, this is Color Study. I believe it's an older collection. Don't get me wrong. I think I probably got extra packs at this ephemera because it was on Peachy Cheap or something. And I did all my journaling about explaining this jacket right there on clear sticker paper. So the jacket, if you are unfamiliar, I think I did mention it, but I made it so that she fits it when she graduates high school. And so now it's just going to be fun to take it from kindergarten all the grades on as she grows into it. And it'll be a nice kind of annual page along with like the first day of school photos and last day of school photos, which once again I think I'm going to make it its own album. So in order to keep these two rather quick and done, I did the same thing. I took the time to cut out these letters. One was a pattern paper, the blue one. It is from a Vicky Boutin collection as well. Was it Color Study? I don't recall. It might have been, but it could have also been Sweet Rush. But it was just like a deep blue mixed media, and I just thought the blues worked perfectly. Now I have been using this glue. I overheard on someone's, I forgot whose video it was, who uses Fabri-Tac glue, a flexible glue, and the point is that it's alcohol-based glue and not water. And she uses it, she says, because this glue does not have the paper warp because it's alcohol, obviously, and it evaporates and it has no effect on the paper. So if you hate warped paper after using liquid glue, this is why I use this one. Okay, that's how she explained it. Well, I went out and bought this Beacon Fabri-Tac stretch flexible glue, and I think she's right, y'all. So I have Fabri-Tac glue, which apparently alcohol-based glue, because this one's used for fabric, and it's a little flexible hold, so it doesn't like immediately gets tacky as soon as you put it down. You have a moment to kind of wiggle with it. Doesn't warp the paper. So I started trying it out here because I don't want obviously the page behind it to be warped, etc., etc. I will say this was the first time using it on this layout, so I will keep you posted on other layouts as I use it from time to time to see in fact if it does not warp or wrinkle the paper, because apparently our like Scotch tacky glue and all these other ones have water as their first ingredient, which then makes them obviously wrinkle our beloved papers. So do it as you will. I'm giving it a try. I heard that and I was like I listened twice. So field trip story was like the same week as trunk or treat, which is why these are pretty much together. I was the chaperone on her first school trip, which was perfect. We went to go see a musical and I thought that was just perfect for her first school trip. And then trunk or treat I did volunteer for to help decorate. I didn't have a trunk decorated because I was on PTO, but it was a fun event. But down here in Florida, it is so hot still that I was such a sweaty mess by the time we got on our costumes, but she absolutely loved it. Liked seeing her teachers and her friends. It was a safe kid environment for them to collect candy, and I will do it every year they have it. It was a fantastic event. Okay, let me just conclude this video just in case the video is getting a little longer and I can make another video catching up. So we've done, what is it, 4 or 5? So finished up with the school book fair. Let me zoom in for you. Okay. Then we did this one with the denim jacket, and I feel like I may actually make this its own album. I always want to make everything its own album, don't I? Where we can see her grow through the years, but love the collection. The paper actually I don't think went with the collection, but I love Vicky Bouton's items. And then we did this simple one, field trip, and the trunk or treat, and just matched them so that it was very easy and design wise to get it done. And then truly I'm just going to leave this one because I'm thinking, do I need more journaling, or I might not, and just keep it in the middle and just call that page done. And then I want to do with this one, which we'll probably just save for the next video and then continue on with the rest of them, is tell the story about nighttime potty training with this, but maybe that's not a good story to tell with her cute school photo. What was my list? Because we had, I can talk about all the assessment testing, if anything, because that's the thing. So some of her assessment testing, as I talk you through this, has some of these score papers, and there's these printouts that I have. There was a whole stack of them, like some of these, like these report card things that I want to include. So maybe, like for instance, for these and something else, maybe try folding them and making it a whole. But there's a lot more than this. That's the thing. Like in this one, what was this one even saying? I don't even know. See, I don't even understand that thing, but categories, she scored like an 80% verbally, And so winter score, she was above average there. And then here, winter score, she was right on. So yeah, she's doing good in school. So that's what I wanted to kind of do with this one. Or maybe just fold them in half and make a clear pocket, and then have this, and then have a card full of like her doing good in school. I think that's what it will do. So let's cut this video first and make sure that all of this content is up, and then we'll start the next video with starting at this page with the school, and then we have the rest of them to continue on. Here was that unicorn day ready to go, and I know I had other ones. Oh, like her bike riding was another story. So there's still a few more to get caught up. Do I have anything else here? So thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. I know a lot of my mommy scrapbookers like watching this series as well, just to see how I'm documenting her school year. Her riding the bike is a really big story too. I think I actually told it in my story album, but I want to have just a smaller version of it in here, and then we will continue on as usual. So thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. Give this video a thumbs up, and until next time, everyone, bye.